and Bob Carson came up to me after the poem, and he said, "Do you know the face on the barroom floor?" And I said, "No." 2 years ago, I did a different one, and he says, "Do you know this poem?" I said, "No." And then last year, I did another poem, and he said, "Listen," he says, "I'm going to send you this poem." So this is really for Bob and Carol Carson, who sent me this thing. There's just one word in the poem I didn't know. I had to look up in the dictionary. And it's called Koh-i-Noor. And the Koh-i-Noor was the largest diamond ever found at one time. Okay, and it's written by Hugh Antoine D'Arcy. It was a balmy summer evening, and a goodly crowd was there, which well nigh filled Joe's barroom on the corner of the square. As songs and witty stories came through the open door, a vagabond crept slowly in and posed upon the floor. "Where did it come from?" someone said. "The wind has blown it in." "What does it want?" cried another. "Some whiskey, rum, or gin." "Here, Toby, sig 'em, if your stomach's equal to the work. I wouldn't touch him with a fork. He's as filthy as a Turk." The badinage the poor wretch took with stoical good grace. In fact, he smiled as though he thought he had struck the proper place. "Come, boys, there must be kindly hearts among such good a crowd. To be in such good company would make a deacon proud. Give me a drink, that's what I want. I'm out of funds, you know, but when I had the cash to treat the gang, this hand was never slow." "What? You laughed as though you thought this pocket had never held a sou? Well, I was once fixed as well, my boys, as any one of you." There, thanks. That braced me nicely. God bless you one and all. Next time I pass this fine saloon, I'll make another call. Give you a song? No, I can't do that. My singing days are past. My voice is cracked, my throat's worn out, and my lungs are going fast. I'll tell you a funny story, and a fact I promise too. Say, give me another whiskey, and I'll tell you what I'll do. That I was ever a decent man, not one of you would think, but I was about 4 or 5 years back. Say, give me another drink. Fill her up, Joe. I've got to put some light back into this frame. These small drinks you serve to a bum like me are miserably tame. 5 fingers? Now that's the scheme. And corking whiskey too? Here's luck, boys. And landlord, my best regards to you. Well, you treated me pretty kindly, and I'd like to tell you how I came to be the dirty sot you see before you now. I used to be a man with muscle, frame, and health, and all but for a blunder, I ought to have considerable wealth. I used to be a painter, but not the kind that daubed on brick and wood, but an artist, and for my age was rated pretty good. I worked hard upon my canvas and was bidding fair to rise, and gradually I saw the star of fame before my eyes. I once made a painting, perhaps you've seen. 'Twas called The Chase of Fame. It brought me 1,500 pounds and added to my name. And then I met a woman, here comes the funny part, with eyes that petrified my brain and sunk into my heart. You laugh as though you thought the vagabond you see could ever love a woman and expect that love for me? Well, it's true, for a month or two, her smiles were freely given, and when her loving lips touched mine, it carried me to heaven. Boys, have you ever met a girl to whom your soul you'd give, with the form of a Milo Venus, too beautiful to live, with eyes that would beat the Koh-i-Noor, and a wealth of chestnut hair? If so, 'twas she, 'cause there has never been another half as fair. I was working on a portrait one afternoon in May of a fair-haired lad, a friend of mine, who lived across the way. And Madeline admired it and said, to my surprise, she would like to know the man that had such dreamy eyes. Well, it didn't take long to know him, and before the month had flown, my friend had stolen my darling, and I was left alone. And ere a year of misery had passed above my head, the jewel that I had treasured so had tarnished and was dead. That's why I took to drink, boys. That's why I never see you smile. I thought you'd be amused, my boys, and would be laughing all the while. What's that, my friend? A teardrop in your eye? Come laugh with me. 'Tis only babes and women that should cry. Say, give me another whiskey, and I certainly would be glad to draw right here a picture of the face that drove me mad. Say, bartender, give me a piece of chalk with which you mark the baseball score, and you shall see the lovely Madeline upon the barroom floor. Another drink, and chalk in hand, the vagabond began to draw a picture of the face that nearly drove me mad. Let's see, no, can't happen. Which nearly drove me mad. And as he added another lock upon the shapely head, with a fearful shriek, he leapt and fell across the picture, dead. The end.